What did we get on Power Book 2? Ghost Season 3 Episode 9 compared to our high expectations? We believe that most of it can be stated here in very basic terms. The return of Joseph Sikora as Tommy Egan in the last minutes of today's spectacular episode is one significant aspect that strikes out about it more than anything else. We were surprised by this one in many ways. After all, we thought the character would spend more time in the Power Book AV Force universe at this point, but he couldn't pass up the chance to get revenge on Tasha. He showed up there as soon as he learned of her whereabouts, prepared to take whatever action he believed was required. According to the cliffhanger, he might even still be holding on to her. In the meantime, Tarek was knocked out and awoke at the conclusion of the episode in the hospital. What exactly is going on here, then? Although we wouldn't generalize about Tommy and Tasha just yet, Michael Rainey Jr.'s character clearly has good cause to believe the worst. He loves his mother dearly, but he also well understands that he doesn't have a large extended family. He will do every effort to maintain contact with the remaining significant individuals. After all, he doesn't really have many other options. Consider Tommy's appearance here to be yet another reason to be thrilled following this episode. In a season that already had a lot of intriguing strands running, it does, after all, make things much more dramatic. When Drew, Kane, and Diana learned that Monet hired Gordo to kill Lorenzo in retaliation for him unintentionally killing Zeke, their concerns about becoming collateral damage in the Saks Effie situation are reduced to nothing. The Tejada children react violently in reaction, which permanently alters their connection with their mother. In another part of this episode, Weston Holdings' Ponzi scheme is revealed, putting Braden, Kiki, and others in serious risk of legal trouble. Braden resolves the problem reluctantly in a way he had hoped he wouldn't have to. In addition, Tarek receives a visit from a buddy from his past. It is during this visit that he discovers his mother poses a serious threat, which results in another encounter with a significant person from his past. Tarek is sick of having to save everyone. There hasn't been a moment in Season 3 that Tarek hasn't gone above and beyond to save someone he cares about, whether it's because of the drug business or because of a particular connection. Both the Tejadas and Effie have been saved by him. Both Rashad Tate and Braden have been saved by him. It's true that Tarek has occasionally been the one who is saved, as when Braden took the blame for him during the trial in Season 2. But most of the time it is Tarek who wears the cape. Tarek's rescue ways are back in Episode 9. He talks Braden into handling his uncle Lucas, who is set to inform the authorities about the Weston Holding Ponzi scheme and the drug business Tarek and Braden run there, and buys the group additional time from Noma when Effie is imprisoned. However, it's clear that Tarek is sick of always having to look out for and defend those around him when the episode ends with him hurrying to his mother's witness protection facility. He would love for things to just go right for once because the attacks are becoming old, but alas, a huge cliffhanger involving Tarek, his mother, and none other than Tommy Egan is left unresolved. Jenny Sullivan will only end up burned as a result of her scorched earth strategy. Cooper Sax's dogged pursuit of the St. Patrick's and any of their friends was one of the main causes of his downfall and, ultimately, death. Jenny Sullivan might be moving closer to a similar fate as Sax was when he ran into the metaphorical brick wall that ended his life. Having the Tarek and their allies pay for Sax's death is undoubtedly a justifiable goal for Jenny given their relationship and love for him. But her scorched earth strategy will only result in errors and, most likely, a setback. Yes, staying one step ahead of Tarek and his team is necessary if you want to succeed. Jenny achieved this by using the attempted murder allegations she had against Effie to throw her in jail. But you shouldn't plan too far ahead. Despite wearing a corporate suit and tie, Braden is still very similar to Tarek. I mentioned this after the episode last week, but Braden seems to believe that he is playing a different game than Tarek. Better still, it appears that he believes his game is a little more law-abiding. In Episode 9, Braden and Tarek share a moment of truth in which he confesses that he does not want to turn out like Tarek, who was able to murder his father and others to further his ambitions. Tarek, however, had a very different perspective, believing that his actions were vital to ensure that he and Braden were always safe and could flee danger at any time. Tarek was willing to take on the necessary tasks, but Braden has never been completely confident when it was his turn. He seems to realize at this point that Tarek isn't any better or worse off because of his corporate attire as he stands there dressed in a suit and tie and speaks to him. Perhaps it was because of this chat, perhaps not. But in the end, Braden took the necessary steps to ensure that he and Braden would live to see another day of freedom. The most important aspect of her regime was never valued by Monet. The Tejada's strongest suit was the harmony and chemistry that existed throughout their extended family, which was involved in the drug trade. They appear to have become a force to be reckoned with as a result of it. But when Monet took charge, particularly when Lorenzo was imprisoned and especially after her passing, it became obvious that she had never appreciated that family aspect in terms of how important it was to their drug operation. She ruled like a tyrant and frequently used coercion to persuade her children to do and believe what she wanted them to. It is impossible to undo the harm that Monet has done, and she will ultimately pay for it. Drew, Kane, and Diana are autonomous and will undoubtedly figure out how to accomplish their own aims on their own if necessary. But Monet's drug organization was never designed as a one-person operation. We'll simply have to wait and see how she responds to her children's current opposition to her. Kindly keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.